أعزائنا المشاهدين، بحب أرحب بكم في حلقة جديدة من برنامجكم علاجك في بيتك. أحب أرحب بدكتور جويس معنا في الاستوديو، أهلا وسهلا بيكي. أحب أرحب بجينا، أهلا وسهلا بيكي معنا. النهاردة أعزائنا هنتكلم عن البخار الساخن للصدر وللظهر. فخلينا نسأل دكتور جويس إزاي هتعمل لنا ده النهاردة.
So our treatment today is in English called fomentations, and we take a towel that's heated or steamed with, and then we put it in a wool cover, and then we use it on her back, and then we're going to also do it on her chest today. And it's moist and it helps with pain and other things.
ممتاز. طيب نحب نصلي زي ما تعودنا معاكم انه نطلب من ربنا ان هو يلمس بالايد الشافيه الشخص اللي محتاج العلاج ده. تحبي تصلي لنا؟
So, dear Father, we ask that you bless this treatment as we do this for Gina. We ask that it be a blessing to her. Be with Naveen and I as we conduct this treatment. Help us to be a blessing to Gina and help us to be a blessing to those who are watching so that they can use this kind of treatment to help themselves and others. These things we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
So as we want to look at our equipment here, we have a large bucket to wet our towel. We're going to be using a microwave for our heating device. So we are going to put the wet towel wrung out. We don't want it dripping. We're going to put it in a plastic bag, and then we're going to put it in the microwave. So would you like to start with that? You have a towel there, and we want to walk the people through all steps. So we just get it nice and wet, put it in the water. It doesn't matter what temperature you start the water, just room temperature is fine. And put your towel in there, get it nice and dry as you can by wringing it. It's still going to be wet, but we don't want it to be dripping. Sometimes it helps if you have somebody hold one end and you hold the other. Would you like me to hold one end?
Try.
That can really help sometimes. And then pull. That's it. Okay, pull again. Very good. So Naveen has a bag here. So roll it up and put it in the bag. We don't wrap it too securely. We just make sure that if there's steam that needs to come out, it can come out. Now, if you don't have a microwave, you can also use a big kettle. You put water in the bottom and boil it. You put a rack on top and put the towels there. It keeps it out of the water, but the steam comes up and heats them. You can put the lid on and heat them for 30 minutes or so until they're nice and warm, and it will give you the same kind of results. Now, when this towel is ready, what we're going to do is to put it in this wool cloth, because that's going to help keep it warm. So it has to be large enough, a large enough cloth, so that we can fold over the sides on either side of the towel. And we want the towel the shape of wherever we're going to put it. So the first one's going to be on Gina's back. So we're going to lay it this way. We'll have her sit up when it's nice and warm and it's all wrapped. We'll have her sit up a little bit. We'll put it on her back. Now, sometimes it's really warm, so we'll have her try it. You'll lay down on it. If it's too hot, we'll put a towel between you and the fomentation, okay? If it feels okay, we'll just be happy and leave it like that. So, and after we get that one done, we're going to immediately put one of these. Now, These are the same kind of thing. These have been soaked in water. They've been put in a bag and they're ready to put in the microwave to heat up. So it's going to be the size that we need for her chest. That's what we're going to treat today. So that is, they're all ready to go like little soldiers, ready for their mission. It also depends on your microwave. Some microwaves heat faster than others. You just have to see what it is.
طيب عايزين نعرف ايه اللي بيفيدوا النوع ده من العلاجات. لو تحبي تشاركينا مرة تانية. احنا عارفين انه قلت لنا قبل كده العلاجات من البخار بتفيد انه تفتح المسام او تفتح العروق حتى تدي فرصة للدم يمشي فيها اكتر. بس عايزين نعرف اكتر ايه الفايدة اللي من العلاج ده.
So a lot of the benefit has to do with circulation. And it's going to bring, because of the warmth, it's going to bring blood to the area. It's going to bring blood to her back and then on the chest as well. So if someone had bronchitis, pneumonia, or coughing, this could be very helpful and bring benefit. Now, we're going to leave it on for 3 minutes, and then we're going to put cold on. So then the cold is going to chase that blood away that was there. Now we're going to leave the one on her back warm the whole time. The only place we're going to put the cold is on her chest. So 30 seconds with cold, a cold towel, and then back again with the warm towel. So it's bringing the blood, sending it away, bringing it again, sending it away, increasing the circulation and reducing congestion in the area. So that's one thing, it's the circulation. Also, this helps warm somebody up. Now, what we could be doing that would even be more warming treatment, as we have in another episode about the hot foot bath. If someone's in bed, you can still do that as well. Now, we're not doing it today because it's quite complicated to do everything at once in the short time we have for our episode. But you would have the person bend the knees. We would bring a big bucket and tilt it so that it would be easy for them to put their feet in. It would be full of warm water. We'd keep it warm. The sheet and the blanket would cover it. And that would be a warming area on the feet for the whole treatment. So that's another way you can keep the person very warm. Now this is our first one. So now we're going to put it inside the wool cover. She just needs to watch that she doesn't burn her fingers because it's pretty hot when it comes out of here usually.
It is hot.
So next time you might want to use the gloves. So just lay it right down there. Excellent. And so we're going to quickly wrap it up on both sides as well. And then I'm going to roll it up. Now, we have our person right here, but if you had the person in the next room, it might not be so easy. So now it's in a nice little pack. And Gina, I'm going to have you just sit up a little bit. I'm going to put this on your back here. Now, let's get one of the brown towels ready, just in case it's going to be hot. Okay, lay back down. Is it too hot?
It's good.
It's good. Are you sure?
Okay.
All right. So that's good. Now we're going to heat up another one right away, and we'll get started with the one on the chest. Now, before we put it on the chest, we're going to put a towel that protects the skin. Now, because we're on camera, Gina is fully clothed, just for modesty's sake. So what you would want to do at home, you would want to have skin, the towel right on the skin. And so let's put that on now. Are you warm enough that you would like a cold towel on your forehead? Okay, I'll get that for you. So what we would do is pretend that this is right on her skin, and we would keep her warm. Let me just put this on her head. Again, we want to keep it nice and cold, her head. Not dripping. How's that feel? Better.
Yeah.
Yes. It's very important in any heat treatment to keep the head cool. So we always have to be aware of that and always check to make sure. Now, when you're using hot and cold and you're using cold, you don't want to use cold on the head until they feel warm. Because we never, like I like to preach, never use cold on a cold body. We always wait till it's warm. So when we're ready, what we can do is to get our next piece of cloth ready for this one. It's right there behind you on the chair. Excellent. Okay, very good. So you're going to use the gloves this time. I think that's a good idea. They get pretty warm.
طيب عايزين نعرف أكتر إيه ممكن التحذيرات اللي حضرتك تحبي تحذرينا منها أثناء تأدية النوع ده من العلاج؟
Well, for a milder treatment for some people, you can still use this kind of treatment, but a milder one. In other words, if you have, say, somebody who has diabetes, now Gina's pretty thin, but she's young and she can feel if it's too hot and she can let me know. But if they're elderly and frail, you want to make sure that it's not too hot because they may not feel it and then you could burn them. You certainly don't want to burn people. So anybody that's older, frail, diabetic, that can't feel the intensity of the heat and let you know, or anybody that's unconscious or paralyzed, for sure. You would want to have a milder treatment. You can still have beneficial results, but yet you're not having a chance to burn.
بس نقدر نستخدم العلاج ده مع أي عمر، أطفال أو متوسط العمر أو كبار؟
Same with children. The same with children.
نفس الشيء برضه. نخلي بالنا من
because they can tell you, but you just don't want them to have to touch something hot and feel hot. So you just do a milder treatment for them and watch them very carefully. Stay with them. Actually, with these kinds of treatments, I never leave the room. I'm always there. I always have somebody else. For instance, if this is the bedroom and the microwave's in the kitchen, I always have somebody going back and forth. Or else I do all of the fomentations and I have them all ready and all wrapped up so that they stay warm, and then bring them all into the room and then time them. So ideally, we want the chest or the abdomen, today we're doing the chest, we want that to be there for 3 minutes because we want that area really nice and warm. And then we'll do the cold for 30 seconds. Just similarly like we do for the hot and cold bath and for the hot and cold compresses. So this one's ready now. She's going to roll it out onto our wool piece of cloth. You can see it's nice and warm.
It's very warm.
Excellent. So again, we cover it up right away. Very good. And we can roll it up. Excellent. Now the inside is warmer than the outside. Actually, it's quite warm everywhere. So I'm going to get you
the other
ready
one
here.
as well.
Sure. So I'm just going to bring this down. Now, it's quite warm, so you tell me. It's okay? I can leave it there?
Yeah.
You're sure? Neck?
Yeah.
Yes, we don't want it on your neck. Right. Okay, so we'll put a towel over it to keep the warmth in. This direction. Okay. You sure it's okay?
Yeah.
Now, this is going to get warm really fast, so I'm going to go ahead and re-dip it in the water, squeeze it out so it's not dripping, and replace it. So after 3 minutes, we are going to put cold. So maybe during this 3 minutes, we'll just time it for 3 minutes.
طيب حابين نعرف برضو إذا كان في أشخاص ممنوع نستخدم معاهم النوع ده من العلاج.
If we use a mild one, I think most people can do it. If there's always a question, well, okay, say there's a malignancy in the chest, we wouldn't do it then. That's one of the main reasons. If there's high blood pressure, we would use a mild one, and we would keep track of the blood pressure. If we have any question, though, of anybody that we think would benefit by a treatment like this, but we're wondering, is it going to be helpful or harmful, then we always have to check with the doctor. That's our first line of defense. So now we've had this on for 3 minutes, so now it's time for a cold towel. So I'm going to get that ready. And we're just going to use this towel, get it nice and cold, wring it out so it's not dripping. Let me get some of it out first. And you can give me a hand. And then it's only going to be 30 seconds, so we want the hot towel ready to go right after the 30 seconds. So as I'm putting this on, maybe you can get the one that's hot in the microwave. And we don't want it dripping. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So we'll remove the towel that's over the hot towel. We'll remove the fomentation. I'll put it there for now. So I'll get my edge and this edge here. So just put this over her chest. Take the dry towel out. Now, it's pretty cold, so we'll just rub it a little bit. It helps if it's really, really cold on the skin. Sometimes it helps to rub it. It's not so hard to take. So now Naveen's getting the next one ready, because as soon as we do the cold, when we're ready, we want the hot one to go back on. So she's getting that ready for us. So let me take the cold one away. We'll be ready for the hot one. Okay, good. Okay, I'll trade you. Thank you so much. All right, we'll put the hot one back on again. Is this going to be okay? All right. I'll cover it up to keep it warm. So another 3 minutes. So now you asked about some of the people that we have to be very careful for when we do this treatment, and we talked about very high blood pressure that's not controlled. People who are paralyzed, also severe vascular disease, heart disease. Now, if we do a heating treatment for somebody with heart disease, it wouldn't be over the chest, because we'd want to put a cold ice bag or something over the heart. So we would do, like we could do it for the abdomen or the back or some other place, but we'd keep ice over the heart and monitor the pulse. If it was getting too high, we'd remove the heat. And go on from there.
ونقدر برضو نعمل التسخين مش بس بالميكرويف، ممكن نعمله كمان بوسائل تانية زي ما حضرتك علمتينا بالبخار، ونقدر نعمل تسخين للفوط دي بطريقة تانية.
Right, because we could, not everybody has a microwave, or it's not even always the best. We're using it because it's the studio, it's the easiest for us to use. But if you have a nice big kettle that may be used for canning or a lot of soup to feed a crowd, you boil water in the bottom and you have a rack, and then you roll up your towels like we're doing in the microwave, have them there ready to be steamed, keep them there for 30 minutes or so, make sure they're nice and warm, and then you can wrap them up and use them as we're using this now.
تمام. ودايما نتذكر نصلي حتى ربنا يتدخل هو ويشتغل بإيده الشافية على الشخص اللي هو بيتعالج بالعلاج ده.
So how long has it been? Has it been about 3 minutes?
تقريبا.
Okay.
3 دقايق.
So we're ready again to do the cold towel.
To use that.
Yes. Okay. So put that back. Yeah, we want it nice and wet, and nice and cold, but we don't want it dripping. Okay, let's pull a little. One more time. Excellent. So actually, this is how we would complete the treatment. We would remove the hot one, and we would end with cold. So bring that across. Again.
طيب دكتور جوز، في مرات ممكن ننهي بالبارد ولا لازم ننهي بالسخن؟
It depends. If somebody has arthritis and cold is just too uncomfortable, I would end with the cold. I mean the hot, but everybody else cold.
وبعد العلاج دوت بيحتاج ياخد حمام دافي أو حمام بارد.
Right. We want to cool the body a little bit, but not very mildly so.
يعني حمام بارد.
مش برد قوي. For an arthritic, because it hurts. So what we would do then to end the treatment, we would dry her off. Now if we and keep her warm. So we would cover her back up. So now if we'd been using the hot foot bath, we would have her raise her toes out of the water, and we would take that cold basin of water and we would pour that over her feet and dry them well, put on some socks if we were going to leave her in bed to rest, and we would suggest that she rest at least 30 minutes after a heating treatment like this. We want a person to rest. So that's how we would end the treatment.
تمام. ودلوقتي يا أحبائنا بنحب نقول لكم انتهينا مع الحلقة دي النهاردة من العلاج بالمية بالبخار على الصدر وعلى الظهر. خليكم معنا في حلقات تانية إن شاء الله علشان نتعلم أكتر إزاي ممكن نعمل علاجات منزلية بطريقة بسيطة وسهلة. وما تنسوش تبعتولنا على الإيميل اللي بيظهر قدامكم على الشاشة، بنحب نسمع تعليقاتكم واستفساراتكم عن أي شيء. نشوفكم بحلقة جاية إن شاء الله على خير.